Well, this is the Pinball Quest Podcast. Man, David, two guys love pinball. We've been out of the game for how long?
I don't know. At least 5 years for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Not 5 years. I don't know. I haven't been on site to a pinball machine. Maybe like three,
3 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years actually, because when I went back to New Brunswick, I played a remake of a Monster Bash and maybe like a Guardians of the Galaxy in St. John, New Brunswick.
Yeah. Well, at least you got a Monster
The Monster
Bash.
Bash was deadly.
Yeah, I know. Like, at least if you're gonna have access to one machine, it wasn't like
No, it was
Nightmare on Elm
wicked, dude.
Street or something. You know.
No, it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
I love Monster Bash. And I was like really impressed with the remake too. Like, super good.
Yeah. Oh, the builds of the Chicago Gaming Company ones. Like I played Medieval Madness and Attack from Mars remakes, and
They're perfect, aren't they?
yeah, I was
Yeah,
so impressed, man. So impressed.
yeah.
So
The
anyway,
Monster Bash. I've played an original Monster Bash, and honestly, like I can tell the difference.
yeah,
The only difference I can tell was the machine was really shiny and everything worked perfect.
right. Yeah. So I might as well introduce what we're doing with the show. Well, at least for me, anyways. But so I've been out of the game. Out of the game. I had my four pinball machines. I sold them to open my bar 9 years ago, right? And
Opens the bar, sells all his pinball machines.
yeah. Well, you trade one toy
Travesty.
for another, right? So anyway,
Yeah,
but
funny
I didn't
story.
basically touch a pinball machine except for yours a couple of times for like 9 years, right? And so now I've closed down the bar, moved to Nova Scotia, and I'm like, man, I love pinball. Like I have
Missing it.
time now. I want to get back into pinball, right? So I decided to make it a quest. And my quest
It
is,
is getting
yeah,
into pinball is a quest,
yeah,
especially when you buy a 1993 Tales from the Crypt from Los Angeles and it comes very rusty
yeah.
and, and nothing works in it basically.
It was screwed together by orange screws that had so much rust on them that they were falling apart. And yeah, like that's back in the day. It is totally a quest though. Like, well, so my challenge is now that I'm going to be on this quest until I win a tournament. That's my challenge. How am I?
Yeah, that's a good challenge. I don't know like what the European pinball scene is like, but Slovakia is like non-existent. I haven't seen a pinball machine in this country
No.
except for the one in my living room.
Are you near the capital?
Yeah, maybe there's one in Bratislava. I'm near everything here.
Yeah,
Nothing's far. I can always check out a different country.
yeah. Well, you might have
Yeah,
to, right?
yeah.
So, I mean,
Czech is not far. Hungary's not far. Poland's
yeah.
not far.
And you were saying this.
Ukraine's not far.
Oh, I don't think you're gonna be passing in that way looking for pinball.
Oh, I don't think I need to go looking for pinball machines there. I might bite off more than I can chew.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna be tracking my progress. I'm gonna be strategizing. I'm gonna be trying to like, how am I gonna get my skills up to the level? Like even in the Halifax scene. So I went down, and I've been playing some games at the Propeller Brewing Co. They got a sick arcade in the basement, and
Yeah, what
there's
games do they have?
oh, they got like Stranger Things, Godzilla, World Cup Soccer. They've got WWE Royal Rumble or WWF Royal Rumble. I mean, not the new WWE.
Which one do you like to play?
Man,
Or do you kind of like dabble in them
Godzilla.
all?
Godzilla is the king of the
Godzilla.
pinballs right now. It is.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Is it
Yeah,
awesome? It must be.
it
Everybody
is.
raves about it.
It raised the level of pinball. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I would say Godzilla, yeah, for sure. It raised the level of pinball. That one. Although Jurassic Park raised the level of pinball before Godzilla, and then Yeah, so like
That's what I see on Pinside. Like, of course, every once in a while I'm going on checking the top 100, seeing where,
yeah,
what sits. I like to look at my Metallica, see that it's dropped down more. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, not in the top 10 anymore. Are we going to stay in the top 20?
Dude, I have to say
Maybe
though,
not.
I just played Metallica, and it was just as fun as I remember. It's still like among my top games for sure.
Yeah, every time seriously, every time I turn the machine on and start playing it, I'm like, oh man, I need to get it crank it up at least.
Yeah,
And then I'll get it crank it up. I'm like, oh man, 50 mil,
yeah,
like at least 100. Then I like next thing I know, Metallica has that one more game feel to it, like it
oh yeah.
always has.
Oh, and it's brutal too. So it's like sometimes
Yeah,
you go through three
yeah.
balls in 3 minutes, and it's like it kicks your ass
It's
so
funny.
hard. You're like, I'm not ending on that. There's no way I'm
Yeah,
ending on that
totally.
game, right?
Funny, like sometimes people come over and they're like, oh, yeah, you can just show us how you play. I'm like, please God, don't let this machine just wreck me.
Yeah, right in front of my friends.
They probably think I'm like a god on this thing because I own it, but
Yeah,
really I'm rusty.
yeah, yeah. Well, why don't we talk about like how we like started? Because our start was actually pretty epic when we first got into pinball, and
But
like
when we because like when I got into pinball, I was like 13. The first time I like played a machine and was like,
yeah,
wow, I really love pinball. But like when we like started getting into it in Yellowknife, that was like a whole different level.
that was an
Like,
obsession. Yeah,
yeah,
there was instant
dude,
addiction,
I'm not
man.
gonna lie, but the first machine that I played, well, I'll just tell you my story about like how I got into pinball.
Yeah,
When I was like 13, like almost 14, I was going over to Calais, Maine in the States with my buddy to skateboard. And on the way to the skate park, there was this pizza place. We just stopped there one day. I'm like, oh, there's this pizza place here, and I hear the pizza's good. Let's stop in there and get a pizza before we skate.
yeah,
And so we go in there, and like while we're waiting for the pizza, I'm like checking out like the arcade machines. And I'm like, this like pinball machine looks really really cool. Like, look, it's got like castle and shit in it. Like, let's try it out. And then like we start playing fucking medieval madness,
yeah.
dude.
The best of all time, like your first
I
game.
know, like how crazy is that? And like me and Justin are just like pumping the money into this thing. Like, dude, gotta play again, man. Gotta we gotta
Yeah,
kill the castle, fuck,
yeah,
get the trolls, man. And then like seriously, for probably 2 weeks straight, we went there every day, just dumping money in this thing. Eventually, like 13, like asking mom for $5 so I can play the pinball machine a few times every day. It's like got old. But
yeah,
your first machine, Medieval Madness, like, come on. Obviously, once you play like a really good machine, then you know
yeah,
what's out there. And to like obviously to play like the best machine, debatably the best machine of all time. Like, I mean, it was pretty sweet. And
yeah.
then at that same place when I was 19, they had a Tales from the Crypt, and I went in and I was like playing Tales from the Crypt was awesome too. Like, especially as like kind of a newbie,
Right.
like Tales from the Crypt is cool. Like, it's got a 6 ball multi ball that you can just basically get kind of like by chance, hit the
Yeah.
scoop one time when it's lit, and you're, oh, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
Six
Tales from the
balls
Crypt.
here.
Well, that I might as well get into like my first games then, because Tales from the Crypt was right there. Because I remember going through my first time I remember ever playing pinballs was at the Edmonton airport. They had arcades there, right? So when you're
Yeah, yeah,
flying
yeah.
through,
Of course. I
dad
always
dad
went to
takes
the.
you, yeah, to the airport
I
arcade
always
like
go
all
to
the
the
time.
freaking Edmonton Airport
Yeah,
pinball machines in Calgary. Calgary had a Lord of the Rings.
yeah, yeah. So my first ones I remember, it was they had a lineup of Adam's Family, Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt, and I was
Those
like,
are wicked machines. I love
I know,
Adam's Family too.
yeah, yeah, and so that was the first time I remember ever playing, and it was like the crypt keeper's laughter just it's stuck with me ever since, right? And playing Tales from the Crypt that time, it's like no matter what you do on Tales from the Crypt, you're doing something. It always feels
Something
like you're
good.
doing
Yeah, you're
something,
doing
right?
good shit, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, there's a big
And if you
reaction
just
to
wait,
everything.
you can the crypt opens up and you can always shoot a multi-ball on your third ball.
Yeah. Yeah, Tales from the Crypt is like right there in my first like memories of it, and then, but when I really was like, I have a problem addiction, it was like, I was over at an arcade in it's like Toronto area, GTA or something like that, and they had a Mario Brothers pinball, and I was obsessed with Mario at the time. I was like, little, probably 8 or 9 years old, and the Mario Brothers pinball was so damn easy. I thought it was awesome at pinball, right? Because it's like you go shoot it in this giant hole that you can't miss or whatever, and then like that's the game, right? And the tickets are spitting out, and I'm going and getting pencil toppers like there's no tomorrow, right?
Yeah, well, I
The-
mean, sometimes like I said, like that was one of the draws for us for Tales from the Crypt was it was. I'm sorry, but like Tales from the Crypt is like a way easier game than Metallica. You get on,
yeah,
like I say, you wait for the third ball, you can get yourself a multi-ball. Extra ball gets lit really easy too. Like play the
it,
modes by mistake, just shooting the scoop, not really know what's going on.
yeah,
When you start trying to like put an actual score on the board, that's when things get a little tricky. But
right.
you know,
Yeah,
but
well,
just as
once you realize how the scores blow up, right, with your,
yeah,
you know,
once you start to realize, hey, like this is like a full blown game. It's not like a ball that comes down and you just like try to hit the ramps over and over again.
yeah,
You
yeah,
start, I'm like, yeah, like that's what kind of happened to me with Medieval Madness. We were always just trying to like the trolls or
okay,
get the
yeah.
trolls or and like knock the castle gate down.
Well, the
I don't
beauty
think we
of
ever destroyed the castle or anything.
no, well, the beauty of the design of Medieval Madness is that when you're going for the castle, you like the trolls. So it's like,
Yeah, I know.
how can you miss?
When the trolls popped out of the machine, it blew my mind. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Whoa!
yeah. So playing,
Whoa! There's something in the machine. It's like alive.
yeah, playing Medieval Madness like within a couple of years of playing pinball, because like every time I went on vacation after, like I was hooked right off the start. I was like, whenever there was anywhere we were at, hotels, airports, whatever, I'd always be looking to play the pinballs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
me too, dude.
yeah,
Seriously.
but when I played Medieval Madness the first time, that was when instantly I knew I had a favorite game, and that was it. It was like this. I mean, this is on another level. It's just too fun.
When I was older, I like, I remember that Medieval Madness was awesome, but when I played Tales from the Crypt, that became my favorite game, kind of.
Yeah.
Like it was Tales from the Crypt and Medieval Madness.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll get into like how when we got started, like for real
Yeah,
as adults, when we got
like
pinball machines.
real for real in the pinball as
Yeah,
adults was crazy.
yeah,
I'll tell you from my point of view, like, I was playing pool at After Eight in Yellowknife, like a
yeah,
lot. And I looked at that Terminator 3 machine so many times, and I'm like, oh, it kind of looks not great. And
right.
maybe I should try it. I don't know. And
Yeah,
then I was just kind of like busy with pool. And then one day I look over, and you and Matt were over like hammering on this thing. I'm like, really? These guys are like into this pinball machine? Like, it kind of looked crummy to me. I'm gonna go talk to these guys about this machine and see if it's worth playing.
yeah,
So like, yeah, I come up to you guys and you're jamming away. I'm like, what do you think of this Terminator 3? Oh, it's all right. It's got some cool features. It's like not really a bad pinball machine. I'm like, oh yeah, you guys like know about pinball, huh? Oh yeah, we're buying a Medieval Madness soon. I was like, oh come on, yeah, right. Like a Medieval Madness, get out of here. Yeah, dude, though, for real. Like, yeah, seriously looking into buying a machine. I'm like, how do you even buy a pinball machine? It
yeah,
doesn't make any sense to me. And yeah, when you change your mind to Metallica too, I was like, oh, a Metallica machine. I was disappointed. I was actually
Yeah.
really, really choked.
Well, I'll tell you.
But
Yeah.
when I like just Googled it online and saw the machine layout, I was like, oh, it's got nice artwork and
Yeah.
it looks sweet.
Oh, the music's killer. I love
Music's
Metallica's
gonna be
music.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so from your point of view, like you guys were getting into pinball before I kind of like came along and like
Yeah.
jumped in with you.
Well, yeah, it's because well, the Terminator 3 that was at that bar, it like relit my addiction. You know what I mean? It's like having that first
Yeah,
smoke after like I haven't smoked for 2 months, right? And then
yeah,
it's like I'm doing so good, I can handle one. Come on, I got this beat. And then it's like no, we got playing that Terminator 3, but it's not even just that. It's that me and Matt were both like equally good at pinball. So it was like we were both trying to blow up that machine and get those grand champion
yeah.
scores at the same time. And
That sorry to interrupt, but that is seriously like something that made the pinball experience so much more fun because like I saw you guys playing. I'm like, these guys are both really good at it. Like,
yeah,
like I can be good at pinball too.
right. Yeah,
Like I want to be good at pinball too. I want to play with these guys. I want to, you know.
yeah,
Sorry, go on. But that is true. Like it's like a little bit of healthy competition that makes it fun.
yeah. And there's no like you don't feel like you're sort of patronizing the person you're playing with, right? You know, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you know, you did good and this and that, and it's like, meanwhile you're
Hmm.
posting 200 million and they're like
Yeah. And
16,
they're like
17.
barely cracking a couple.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like,
So
oh, good job. You stopped the ball for a second there.
yeah, yeah. Well, there's people that don't even know to cradle the ball in pinball, right? Oh,
Yeah,
there's
I
many,
know.
and most probably, right?
Most people don't. Like it's
Yeah,
like
you just
I play
swat
with
it.
like yeah, they want to play on the fly all the time.
Yeah,
Anyways, getting we're getting off track here.
yeah.
Go on about you and Matt,
Well,
equally as good, getting into T3.
yeah, and like I had a solid job at the time, and I was like, I'm gonna get a machine. And Medieval Madness was both of our favorite machine, so it's
Yeah.
like no brainer, you know. And
Yeah, we're gonna buy Medieval Madness
yeah,
for 10,000, 11,000.
yeah. Well, that was the only deciding factor. I was like, it's $10,000 for a Medieval Madness. Like
Yeah,
that's madness. That is freaking madness.
that is madness.
Yeah,
Yeah, even like I know most machines are like that expensive now, but at
yeah.
that time, like it just seemed like even like I had a good job at the time too, and I was like, $1,000 is a lot to own a machine in your house.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was like a brand new ish Metallica. It was the floor model, but it was still in Nitro Pinballs where I got it from. I got this.
It was, dude, it was awesome. It had like I remember it had like some lights in the speakers. I always wanted those,
Yeah, yeah.
and I still don't have them in mine. Mine has the round speakers. I like the old square ones. Your guys
Yeah,
had the square speakers, and I
yeah.
like that
They had a
better.
couple runs, so maybe that would yeah, it must have
Yeah,
been
mine's the LED model.
okay. Yeah,
It was like yours is the 2013, and mine is the 2014. I
right.
think
Okay,
they
yeah.
started doing it all LEDs in 2014.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah. So yeah, so I picked that up for 4,800 instead of 10 grand. So it's like, but then Metallica showed up. I knew nothing. I'd never played the machine before. I knew nothing about it, and then it turned out to be like the most badass machine I'd ever played, including Medieval Madness. I mean, I'm talking like
Dude,
for gameplay.
seriously, when I first saw Metallica, when I showed up there, I was like, holy shit, this thing kicks ass.
Yeah, we spent like a
I,
week
I'm
playing that
like, I
thing.
was blown away. I seriously was.
Yeah,
Like, and when I was watching you guys play it, and it was just like, and the first time I saw Sparky multi-ball, I was like,
yeah,
this thing is unreal.
yeah.
I gotta freaking play the shit out of this. I'm playing this as much as possible all the time.
Oh yeah,
Showing up at Matt's, showing up at Matt's house at 9 in the morning to play it while they were like basically still asleep on the couch and shit.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, here's $20, man. I'm gonna play this machine. What do you think? Yeah, $20. Yeah, go ahead, play.
Yeah.
uh,
So
I got a coffee and stuff. You don't mind? Like, I'm just gonna like try to get better at it. Okay.
yeah. Well, Matt's place is a place to be if you're going to be all night, right? So
Yeah.
you had people over all the time. So that's how I got my first machine. But how about how you got your first machine? Let's go over that story.
Man.
How do you remember that one going down?
So yeah, you remember? I'm like, hey, like I don't know where to look. Can you like get me a Tales from the Crypt maybe? And then like, yeah, you're like
Well, you gave me a budget.
the best part of the story. So you find this Tales from the Crypt. It's like in my price range. I think it was like 2,000 American or something.
Yeah. That's...
Or no, 2600 or something like that.
It was in the 2000s
And you
American.
offer the guy like X amount of dollars. I can't remember, but it was supposed to be like you got something confused. It was like Canadian or something. The guy's like, yeah. Like he would take anything for it, basically.
Yeah.
It was like a lower price, and he's just like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, that did happen. There was an exchange rate thing where I thought I was supposed to pay more, but I got it for less. Yeah.
Yeah. It came out to be like 3,600 with shipping.
Right.
I think mine was. And I remember looking up online for like what a $2,000 Tales from the Crypt looked like, and I was like, "Oh God, I hope my Tales from the Crypt doesn't look like this thing." And it did.
Well, that was probably the one. You were probably looking at the one. Yeah.
I just remember like unwrapping it, getting it all set up, turning it on. The first game, springs broke in the flippers.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
I'm like, wow. Okay, time to order some parts, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think I had springs though. No, I didn't.
No, so I had to order. The lights went out in it too, so I had to order fuses and springs right off the bat. And then I'm like, well, I might as well order a cleaning kit because this thing's dusty as shit. Yeah. It smells like the ocean or something. And yeah. I ordered a cleaning kit, springs, fuses, new rubbers, all new rubbers, and a shit ton of lights.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I remember just moving it into your house. I was like, my heart kind of sunk.
Oh my God, getting it into my room was nuts.
The cabinet was so rough, I thought it was
going
to fall apart.
The cabinet was so heavy.
Yeah.
It was bulletproof, dude. The Tales from the Crypt, man.
Yeah. I remember the crunching, though. Like
seriously, like the plywood on it was this thick.
I remember how heavy it was, for sure. That was, yeah, it was crazy.
Man, I was constantly sticking my head inside that damn machine all the time, the entire time I owned it. If I smelled that machine or anything that smelled like that, I'd be, oh, that's Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Seriously. But you know what? Once I got that thing running, man, I love that machine.
Yeah. Well,
like 5 or 6 hours straight. I always have a hard time going to bed because I'd be up playing it. Man, seriously, having that thing in my bedroom was one of the coolest things I ever did in my life. You know, yeah, I still have a Metallica in my living room, but Tales from the Crypt in the bedroom.
Yeah.
It's like close, man. It coming as a rec really like disciplined me and taught me how to like work on a machine too. I had to replace the DMT. Yeah. I replaced all the lights. I replaced the springs in it. Just like constantly cleaning the machine, like just cleaning the machine first thing, like getting that playfield like dust free was like, now when I clean the pinball machine, it's just routine. Like,
yeah,
you know,
did you
because Tales from the Crypt taught me how to take care of a machine. It's like, I need love. You want to play? You need to love me, man.
Well, that's...
seriously, and I did. I loved it, no matter what. I was like, hey, it's here. Let's make it work. Let's fucking turn it into something good.
It means so much more to you when you do that. Like, you remember when I got my my Creature from the Black Lagoon and it was shattered. It was like everything on it was broken. Were you there when I first got that delivered? It was, I had to replace every
I
plastic.
didn't see what type of condition the creature was from it. The creature from the vacuum was in, though.
Yeah, no, it was so bad. I'll tell you, there was like orange dust on it from all the shattered plastics. It was like
That's crazy.
every single post plastic, almost every playfield
Everything
plastic.
was ruined.
I had to
You got that for like what, 3,000?
three something. Yeah, yeah,
3,000
3,500.
Canadian.
I think 3,500 from Saskatchewan. Yeah, it was already in Canada, which was a bonus. And
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, and they had two creatures, and this was the lower price one, right? So it showed up, and I was like, "Holy crap! I have to do everything." I had to order an entire set of playfield
Do
plastics.
everything.
Yeah,
That's how I felt about Tales from the Crypt too. I have to do everything. I
yeah,
didn't have to do everything to Tales from the Crypt. After I got a couple things sorted out, it was great.
yeah, yeah.
But I did a lot.
But you're not gonna ever feel the same attachment to a machine that you didn't like rescue from the grave. Like seriously, like you
Yeah.
have brought Tales from the Crypt back from the grave, which is
Yeah,
ironic, you know?
I
Like,
did, man. That thing was dead.
yeah,
Seriously, the DMD died like I don't know a
a few
week
days in,
after
yeah,
a week after I had it or something. Had
it,
to order a new DMD.
yeah,
I was playing it with like a DMD that would like fade in and out and stuff.
yeah.
Because I still had, I still like, I had that partially because I wanted to like get my pinball skills up so I would last longer than 3 seconds on the Metallica.
It's like
Because
getting an
I
ugly
was getting
girlfriend
sick
so
and
that
tired
he'll be able to
of
perform
going
with the
over,
better one.
playing Metallica, waiting patiently for you guys to each have your 5 to 15 minute turns, and then just like draining after 10 to 15 seconds to be like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
wait.
there were times I could almost see steam coming out of your ears. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would get pissed because, like,
Yeah.
like not that you guys, I wasn't pissed that you guys were good. I
Yeah.
was pissed that I wasn't able to play the game.
Right.
And I was like, I know like my turn's over and I like have to wait again.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that was part of the
and
benefit
of
when I
course
got
I'm
my.
going to, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to say shit because you guys got the machine there. And well, that's why I was like coming over at off times sometimes. So I kind of like
Get a few hours in a
get the
row.
machine
Yeah.
to myself a little bit, you know?
Well, yeah, that's like I'll tell you. So now, me getting back in. Well, I first I'll say this. That's what was so great. I think it was the best of times when I had like the setup. I had Metallica, Star Trek Pro, Creature from
And
the Black
Creature in the
Lagoon,
Black
all in the
Lagoon.
same room, like same area.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
three of us, so we could all play one, right?
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
You could jump, but I'm not gonna lie, dude. It didn't matter because I just wanted to play Metallica. Sometimes I would go and I would play on Creature. I played on Star Trek a bit, but I was like, I just was thinking about Metallica, you
Yeah.
know?
Well,
And then I would
got
get on to
attached.
Metallica, I'd get my turn in, and I'd be like, I'm just gonna wait for Metallica. Sometimes I would just wait for Metallica anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna wait.
I will say I obviously wasn't very attached to Star Trek Pro because I sold it like almost right away.
Like almost immediately.
Yeah.
I was surprised when you started selling the machines. I was like, he's selling the machine? And I didn't take you seriously when you sold Metallica either. I was like, I'm not gonna sell Metallica.
Yeah.
You're like offering it to me.
Inconceivable.
I'm like, why would I buy Metallica? It's here.
Right.
And then I was like, you're like, I'm gonna sell it. If I don't sell it to you, I'm gonna sell it.
Yeah.
And it didn't click to me like Metallica is going to be gone
Right.
out of the town.
Yeah.
And then it was gone out of the town. I'm like, I have to buy Metallica
Yeah.
because there's no Metallica anymore. And I like now that it's gone, it's like weird.
Yeah. No, we were super addicted. I'm still addicted to it to this day. Like it's like actually the bar.
Yeah, me too. Like seriously, if Metallica was gone, like there's a time period where when we came to Slovakia, I had to box that thing up and like, I wrapped it really good and put it in a big wooden crate. I had my friend Brandon build a wooden crate for me to ship it overseas. And when we got it here, it couldn't use it because Stern has their machines programmed to not run on 230/50 hertz, and it's the 50 hertz.
Yeah.
You can easily get a drop-down, voltage drop-down box, but changing the hertz is like, people don't know how to do it. People
Right.
can't do it. So I searched online forever, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, trying to find some way to bypass this manufacturing restriction. And
let me guess, somebody on Pinside had to know.
nobody
Wow.
on Pinside knew how to do it. Isn't that crazy?
That's
Some people said that you could buy this chip that you could solder in. So I found a guy out of Australia who sold these chips, and we made a deal. He's going to send me the chip. I paid him the money. It was like $200 Canadian or whatever.
yeah.
And then he instantly sent the money right back and said I didn't have like a proper verified, like my PayPal address didn't match my mailing address, so he couldn't do it. And then he ghosted me. He wouldn't reply to me. I'm like, oh, and like I spent months like trying to figure this out. Finally, like a year down the line, my father-in-law found this company in Czech that made equipment to convert the voltage and convert the hertz. So we got a voltage converter and something to convert the hertz. Got it here, tried out the machine. It worked for a little bit, and then it would just not work. And a message that would come up that said that I wasn't able to play this machine in my country or whatever. I'm like, what the heck? How come it's still not working? And then, so we talked to the guy. He said, oh, maybe the frequency's not coming through clean, and the machine knows that. He's like, they never dealt with something so like a smart machine, you know?
Yeah.
Something that was like so in tune with what's going on with the electricity. So I needed another thing. I should really show you this whole setup I have right now. Like a box like this big that converts the voltage, and then like a little thing. This is what they sent me: a cleaner that cleans the frequency. So and then a hertz drop down machine that converts it from 60 to or from 50 to 60. So,
that's crazy.
And
well, if anybody
when I turn my machine on, it makes like a really high pitched noise, like all the machinery I have underneath of it.
Yeah. Oh, you can hear whining. Yeah.
But I can play it
right
perfectly. So
yeah,
I actually contacted a company too, because I contacted Stern directly and said like the whole scenario. They referred me to like somebody over here, like a Stern dealership. And I talked to somebody, had something set up. I was gonna drive the machine to Poland and have them do like a full European conversion. I didn't really want to do that though, because I might move back to Canada at some point.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to convert it all back when I get back there. So this was ideal. I wanted something I could just run the electricity, and if I ever want to go back to Canada, pack it up in a box and take it with me.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, if you do move back to Canada, pick a place near where there's lots of pinball, because I swear, like I love the spot I'm in. I love the town I'm in, but I know there's so much great pinball in Halifax. I'm like, how many $300 weekend trips am I going to end up making this year so I can go play for 2 days? You know what I mean? Like, because you got to get a hotel room overnight, because if you're going to do the 2-hour drive, then you know you want all your pinball playing time, and then you want more tomorrow, you know, like, so
straight up, dude.
Yeah,
I think I have to shut her down for the day. We're gonna have to end the quest for this evening.
So that's the story of how we got into it, man. We're gonna have to have a story of me getting back into it, because I just did a whole tour of Canada, a pinball tour of Canada, and I got it next episode. I got to tell you all about it. So anyway.
All right, I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna maybe I'll try to like grand champion my machine in the meantime.
Yeah,
no, that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
but anyways, beating my old scores are pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, we were in our prime.
Yeah, I'm not in my prime. That's for sure. All right, Bob. Well, it was good talking to you, man.
Yeah.
And we'll have to get together again soon and video chat up again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and this is a podcast. Sometimes like I was forgetting.
That's right.
Forgetting that.
This is recorded for posterity. We're gonna be posting
Recorded. This is recorded. Yeah.
this. Yeah. You
Just
just
lost in the
got lost in
conversation.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Seriously. That's why I said like maybe an hour talks about pinball is really maybe not enough.
Yeah. Well, next time we'll be able to organize it properly. So,
Yeah, something. This was kind of like, hey, I have time on Wednesday potentially.
right.
Clearly, I didn't have as much time as I thought I did.
All right, man. Well, that's episode 1. I'm Bob. That's David. This has been the Pinball Quest. Come back for episode 2. We're gonna get better. We're gonna have more dingle dangles and score sheets and something else going on. So, all right.
Right
Have a
on.
good one, guys. Enjoy your pinballing.
All right, take care.